Hit us one more time with that vocal stim, Alicia.
Hello, governors.
Uh-uh.
Hello. A vocal stem. Hi,
Hello,
people of the
hello.
people of the vulgar science persuasion, people of the normal science persuasion, vulgar or otherwise, people of the non-science persuasion. Welcome all. Um, yeah, we decided we were going to introduce ourselves at the top of the show. Tech issues resolved. Is it even a stream if there's not tech issues? Like
Yeah,
realistic. Yeah, so this is Vulgar Science. If you're new here, we talk about science sometimes. Sometimes we talk about completely other things.
most times. We then, we have many a good
Layla's a
tangent.
little low. I'm a little low. Okay, hold please.
La la la
Yeah,
la.
I'm a little low.
No, my levels look good.
Am I a little low? Maybe it's just I'm a
I
little
hear
low.
you fine. Maybe your partner needs to
I'm
turn
as
the...
high as I'm as high as I can
Yeah.
go on my mic adjustments.
You
So
you sound like very
Okay.
good
Do the
here.
stream, Laila just much a little bit louder than you. Okay.
really, it's usually the opposite. But
Oh,
okay.
sorry. So I sound low on
You're
yours?
good. I'm. Both of us sound fine to each other. We're both perfect in each other's eyes.
Oh, always.
This guy's got a problem with it. No, I'm just kidding. Dan says that I'm quiet. I hear their meds to be less low these days. Yeah, I'm on lots of those. Sometimes they work. We can hear you both pretty well on the VS side. So, okay, well, then we'll just go with it and assume that it's maybe a volume issue. If anybody else in chat says that they have issues, then we'll maybe dive in a little deeper. But yeah. So, yeah, this is Vulgar Science. I'm Neuro Alicia.
And I'm Layla Shode. And today, what are we chatting about today, Alicia?
Well, we're going to talk about our science backgrounds. We're going to
We're
tell
talking
the
about
folks.
ourselves.
Yeah, it's not quite an Ask Me Anything. I don't know if we have quite like the following
Mm-hmm.
yet for an Ask Me Anything, but I mean, if people are into that, I'm down to do it at some point. But I mean, for all the times that we talk about science and, expect people to kind of like listen to and respect our opinions, I think it might be valuable to like have people know where our expertise comes from, have them understand why you're called Laila Show, because we did our degrees in Montreal and show means hot and all that kind of stuff. I think just all of that,
All the inside jokes,
bit,
yeah.
yeah, a bit of background, a little bit of vulgar science history, because we're going to be just resurrecting the daddy list.
I'm genuinely so excited. It's been years.
Right? Years, yeah. So we looked up our old notes from a couple years ago when we first started this stream and found our daddy list. And I have quite a few new contenders, partially because Smosh, like the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Smosh,
what about Smosh?
they just like 3 hours ago released a daddy ranking bracket thing for like one of their little like Smosh games things that they do. Where sit around and rank daddies. So there's a couple that I got from that. There's a couple that I'm not sure if they're already on the list. And then there's a couple just like wild cards that I've been thinking about for, I've been kind of adding just when I'm like going through life and just popping in a list.
Just thinking about it.
Well, you see someone, you're like, is that daddy? And then you hear like other people, they're like, oh, that's so daddy, or he's so daddy. And I'm like,
Zaddy.
oh, yeah, I don't know about that. Like someone was talking about Goofy being daddy. I'm like, Goofy? Like Gorsh?
Isn't he only an uncle? And like, he only has like a nephew, doesn't he? Literally, like.
I thought his kid was the one, Max. Is that his nephew? That's not his son?
Let's go find out. I have no idea.
Goof heads report in.
Is that real? Is that legit?
Goof heads? No. If it is, I'm upset already.
What is Max to Goofy?
It's his son.
Oh, okay. So he is literally a father, but I wouldn't consider him daddy.
Right. So I think we need to, first of all, circle back on what precisely makes someone daddy versus just dad. Because I don't think that just having progeny is, requisite enough for making
I mean,
it
like
onto the daddy list.
sperm donors exist, right? So
Right. So, and I think like there's something, there's a slight bit of sex appeal that I think is required. I think that's important. I think that there's a warmth that's required.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be like warm, nurturing. You want to lay your head on their chest, I think is like the biggest.
Right. But it's not all in physicality. There is some kind of just like generic daddiness that's like a nebulous sort of like vague concept that I think just can't really be captured, you know. Like, okay, one of the more kind of like weird ones that people have been talking about, it was in the Smosh video, and I've heard this talked about, and maybe we even talked about it before, is Mufasa. Is he daddy? Because like James Earl Jones, he's probably pretty daddy. Like I don't really like.
In his
maybe
youth,
generationally, yeah, right. So he's pretty old. Is he even alive? I don't know. Is James Earl Jones alive?
I think he's pretty sure he's still alive. Yeah, I feel like we looked this up at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
The fact that I don't know if he's alive means he's an age bracket far enough from me that he might be granddaddy, but not daddy. So
okay.
Anyways, but Mufasa, is Mufasa daddy?
I mean, if he was human, like a human, I know it's like an anthropomorphized lion, but like,
or if you were a lion, would he be?
I mean, if I was a lion, he'd be daddy. High key.
Right.
Okay, probably so literally, because he would probably be my father in the Pride of Lions.
But that's no. Your own father can't be daddy unless something's very upsetting. Don't no, it can't be your own father. That's that. Yeah, no.
Are you well? I think you're like.
I'm not. I'm upset. I've been so unwell this past week, like just in several different ways that I needed. Yeah, I'm recovering. Maybe that's partially why I'm quieter than I was. But okay, so I mean, well, get a grip. Do you think Mufasa is daddy? I want to know if chat thinks Mufasa is daddy, but I don't think we have chat right now. I think it's just us. Ain't nobody. Nah. The audacity. He goes, guys, okay, listen. He said Scar, and I was just like, that's on my list. Is Scar daddy?
On what? On your daddy list?
My daddy contenders.
Sorry, I'm fucking screwed. I immediately went to another type of list, but continue.
Oh! What's the list?
You know, like like a list, like a celebrity list.
Like the list of people, like the
your like exception, your like exception list, yeah.
I don't believe in lists of that nature, but certainly Scar, the fictional character, would not be on a list of that nature if it did exist.
I don't know, man.
But I do think Scar. I think there's a roguish bad boy energy that's inherent in the flavor of daddy that I like to award daddiness to, that some people don't really see as some people might not meet. Like, you know, Pedro Pascal when he plays Joel in The Last of Us and stuff like that. Like,
well, I have to admit, I haven't actually seen The Last of Us, which is, I know, shocking. But like, yes.
Girl, why? You see everything. Every time I talk about a show, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen like 6 seasons of that, or like I already finished it. And I'm like, it came out 3 days ago.
I'm like a broke bitch and I don't want to pay for HBO, so I like. I mean, that's not even fair. I definitely like use my sister's account and watch certain shows. And like I'm up to date on Euphoria, so maybe I should watch Last of Us.
Hi, Ezra Pizza.
Hello,
you're up to date on Euphoria?
Sorry, I'm not actually. I haven't seen the finale, but.
Okay, I know some things that have happened and some things that happened, so I won't discuss it. I haven't watched it. I started getting Dan into it, and then as I was rewatching it, I was like, I don't like this show.
Yeah, it reminds you of your youth.
It's a bad show. It's also just, it's extremely objectifying and so clearly written by a horny dude. Like,
yeah, it's super fair. I mean, there's like an excess of nudity in the first season. You're like,
and describe Cassie's character.
Pick me.
boobs.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like it's her only personality
that's
characteristic is her tits, and I'm like, they, you know, they shortchanged so much of this, and there was so much to work with there.
I mean,
that I
but
think
did
that
they
did
not hit Sydney Sweeney on the head? I mean, Sydney Sweeney as Cassie is just Sydney Sweeney.
I don't know enough about the woman other than that she's like a Republican apologist and vaguely okay
and boobs.
with being perceived
she's
as a
good
white
genes.
supremacy. Yeah, good genes bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked Barbie Ferreira. I think she's amazing. All the drama behind the scenes and her.
They wrote her out of the show season 3. I know I loved her character.
Because they were going to give her an eating disorder. Because you can't have a fat girl on TV without her, you know, not wanting to be fat.
Yeah.
Upsetting. Why are men? I don't need to go there. I don't need to go there again.
This is not what this is supposed to.
I'm getting whipped up.
Why are men? I'm dead.
Men, I love you. Some of you. Some of you are good.
I would like to harken back to 4 episodes ago when something. If you're gonna try to control our bodies, we'll chop off your penises or something.
So I believe I said something like, if you're going to start sterilizing women or something, then we'll just start castrating men. Or,
yeah,
or
it was something akin to that.
It was a tit for tat, potato.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Speaking of Sydney Sweeney,
even men don't like men. That's true. If men like themselves a bit more, they might be more likable. Hot take, medium take, lukewarm take, cold take, frozen take. Don't know. Could be at all.
Medium take. I would say men perform for men a lot. I don't know if men like men.
The male gaze. It doesn't just affect us. It affects the boys. They're out there thinking their dick's got to be long, their shoulders got to be broad and shit like that. No. You can have whatever dick you want.
So, okay, but is daddy female gaze or male gaze? I feel like that's female. That's got to be female gaze, no?
I think that's patriarchally tinged female gaze. No, you want to know what? I think it's male gaze. I think it's male gaze, and I think it's the gay male gaze.
I was actually just about to say that. I was about to say it was the gays with an S because you're right. I think the term "daddy" originates. Yes, it originates from gay culture. So yeah,
it does, right? Like that's where zaddy comes from and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, there's like the whole concept of like bears and otters, which I totally think we should do an episode on like gay nomenclature and like violent language and stuff. I mean, like that.
'Tis the month. It is.
'Tis the month. 'Tis the month.
Happy Pride.
Male gaze. Yeah, exactly. So okay, I think that's where it comes from. I don't think that I think it's been bandwagoned by the
straight the straights.
By the straights that like RuPaul, you know, those ones, us. Not me being able to hear Sean sing in the background.
I can't believe you just said us after that. I'm like genuinely offended.
Wait, we watch RuPaul's Drag Race? What are you?
The straights that watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
Okay, I think.
This is part of our backstory. Clearly.
This is part of our backstory. You know, you're in a straight relationship long enough.
You forget. I forget sometimes. You forget. Yes.
You forget.
Actually, I saw some like, I don't know, it was like a very stupid video a few weeks ago that said something about like bisexuals like being excluded from gay culture, blah 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 blah, and like
erasure. Yeah,
and I mean, I commented of like this. I mean, there's nuance, right? Because like gay people are like, oh, bisexuality is like gay light. You know what I mean? It's like diet gay. However, I mean, I think as somebody who's bisexual, you also have to acknowledge, especially if you're in a heterosexual relationship, you have to acknowledge your straight passing privilege. So it's
Oh,
like,
100%.
yeah, so it's like, I mean, there's two sides to it, but it's like we should still be included. Like, you need inclusivity and all that.
Well, and like, do you need to be walking around like screaming rainbows and being like, yes, queen, to be gay? Like, plenty of gay people that we know and love and are very proudly gay are not that.
Yeah.
In fact, most of our people are not like,
yeah.
hello.
Well, I was,
you know, like.
I mean, like, yeah, how many gay people can survive living as a stereotype of a gay person forever? You know what I mean? That's just not it.
Right. Well, and to what degree is it performative and all of that sort of thing? I mean, I guess that's all for them to decide, more or less. But yeah, we're bi. We are bi people in straight passing.
Bye bye, baby.
In straight relationships, I suppose. Is it still a straight relationship if someone on the if they're both not straight?
It's a heterosexual relationship, yeah.
Yeah, but that's yeah. I have to think this through. This is not the moment.
You're like, this is not. I can't think about this in real time on stream.
Well, no, I need to marinate on it and like make sure that I'm like saying things that reflect my true values. And
hello, Raffle Iron Chef. What kind of drink? What's your drink of choice? What was that?
Dan's chair.
Did he just? Okay. Did it just collapse underneath it? It was so loud.
No, it's just kind of a pale facsimile of my chair, and so when you adjust it, it's not quite as.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's the sound it makes when you recline it. That was not supposed to be like a suggestion about the chair not being able to hold you, by the way. It's not. Okay. Anyways.
So, okay. Are you endorsing Mufasa or Scar as candidates for daddy?
I personally think Mufasa has more daddy energy. I just think, like, if we go back to who is on there already, which I think we should rehash, because I forget most of them. But I know, like, Halson from BG3, Daddy Halson, which I actually got that scene where he says that exact quote, finally.
He says Daddy Halson?
He said, okay, so yeah, in the epilogue, apparently out of all of my friends, I'm the only effing person who's finished this game. So, actually maybe like Lucas, but like, I've played it. I played it
in the epilogue of the game about being a daddy.
So I've played it fully twice, and if you romance him, there's a scene at the end where he says, "Oh, I have to leave you. Like, we cannot continue to like be together and live together. I have to go back to like where the Act 2 Shadowlands, and I have to. There's all these displaced children that I'm going to like raise there and like." You know, like take care of. I know, like, I don't make some like druid orphanage. I don't really understand, but he's like, they've already taken to calling me Daddy Halson. Like, it's literally a quote from the game. Yeah. That's where it comes from.
Exist.
We looked this up on stream a long time ago.
Did we?
Here, I'll go find it really quickly.
Oh. My drink of choice depends on the venue, and I have too much autism to figure out how to answer the question. Sorry. I drink a lot of water. You know what? I'm fine with that. If someone brought me water and just said, stay hydrated, queen, I'd be so happy. Give in to peer pressure and just order Jack and Coke every time. Yeah, I mean, I'd more be in the realm of rum and Coke if I was going to put something with Coca-Cola, just because I think the flavors jive a little better. But yeah. At a bar. I mean, if I'm at a bar where the best drink is a Jack and Coke, I've already fucked up. That's true. So my mom was visiting a couple weeks ago, and we went out, and she wanted a dirty martini with 3 olives, and this young
with 3 3 olives. Was she hungry? She wanted a snack?
My mom likes olives.
Okay.
But apparently there's this like whole bullshit about like putting only an odd number of olives. If you put an even number, there's some blah, 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 from like some dumb cookbook or cocktail mixology,
You spill the
whatever.
salt situation or no? Oh, it's
I'm
supposed to be a
not
flavor
really
thing.
sure. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know. It might be a flavor thing. But anyways, this kid like had no clue. He's like, yes, a martini. And what flavor of martini would you like? She's like, martini.
Just a normal one, please. Thank you.
He's like, okay. And she's like, do you mean like what proportion of vermouth? And what he, I think, was actually trying to get at is whether or not she wanted a gin martini or a vodka martini, but he did not articulate that. And he was very like fresh faced and 19 and like, thumbs up, guys. All right.
Do you want an apple teeny? Do you want?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Do you want a flirtini?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and he brings her a martini. It's not dirty. It's the clearest martini I've ever seen. No brine of olive whatsoever. And I don't even think it had an olive in it. I think it had some other garnish. I don't remember. But
I think
it
the only other thing they do is like the tiny onions, right? Occasionally.
Yeah, pearl onions sometimes.
Yeah.
There was something else. I can't remember. But anyways, it certainly wasn't what she ordered. And oh yeah, it was fun. My mom's fun to be out in public when things go awry.
Yeah.
It was.
I know she loves. She clearly loves like brine and salt and stuff. Because I remember the story you told me of her at, was it Joe Beef and then the salt incident.
Oh no, that was a Van Papillon across from Joe Beef.
Okay.
And yeah, she's like, so what's about the salt? Yeah, I don't know. She's a foodie. She likes food. Pearl onions makes it a Gibson. Is that true? Is that the real truth of the matter?
I know nothing.
Any expert bartenders in our
Well,
audience?
Raffle Iron Chef said they made an excellent dirty martini, so I trust that. I mean,
yeah, you know what? Maybe we already have it straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, listen, I have other daddy candidates here.
Okay, maybe really quickly, I have shared my screen with you and with our viewers of the Daddy Halson scene.
Oh, girl, yes.
It's that the quote is, "At last count, there were 9 whole wagons of children in tow. They are my duty now. Daddy Halson, they call me. Who am I to tell them otherwise?" Because it's like it's like a romance scene. Post-romance scene.
All right.
Alrighty, Roo.
Rafa Iron Chef says, I do have chef in my name, but chef and bartender, you don't have to be able to make good drinks to be really good at making delicious cuisine, right? Like, you write your own press releases. All right, tell us more.
Oh.
I like that. I am an okay cook and a very bad bartender. And even worse, waitress, server.
Sorry, you said you're a decent cook. A what?
Shit bartender.
Oh, a shit bartender. I fully thought you described yourself as a martini. And I was like, what the fuck is... I'm a tall drink of water and a dirty martini.
No. I'd probably be some like scrud-ass beer, like a PBR or something, let's be real. I don't think I'm a cocktail. If I'm an alcoholic drink, there's no way I'm a cocktail. Especially not one of any like great repute. I'd be like,
I mean, you're like
gin and tonic or something like that.
I was gonna say your blood is like 30% Guinness already. You might as well just say like.
She calls them like she sees them. She's clocked in this moment. Okay, yes. Halson already on the daddy list.
Sorry, so the only reason I reference that is because I feel like Mufasa and Halson have similar energy. Scar, I don't think has that energy. He's like,
I don't think Scar is daddy. I think Scar is the sluttier lion of the two. I think he's got more sex appeal as a lion. I think the voice of Jeremy Irons has like a, there's shoulders to it. There's sling, right? You know what I mean? Like, also, be prepared. Like, come on.
I mean, but that's an exceptionally flamboyant gay number. Like, so I guess, okay, maybe does that contribute to the daddy? I don't know.
I think it contributes to something. I don't think it's daddy.
I don't think a daddy does.
World of sexual innuendo.
Yeah, I don't think a daddy is doing like, what is it called? Something.
The can with 90 hyenas? No.
Well, no, like a theater. Like, they're not doing the Book of Mormon on stage, Queen. Like,
they're not doing kinky boots.
Yeah.
Okay, but hear me out. The reason I thought of kinky boots is there's the guy, I can't remember his name. He's I think he might be gay, and he's a theater man, and he's like, Josh Gad. He's like friends with that guy. He's the blonde guy from the FBI show that was on Netflix. He's like the young, like, happy-go-lucky one, and then there's the like gruff mean one, and then there's like the hot lesbian. You know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking
about? Okay.
Mindhunter. The show Mindhunter. Hold on.
Are you talking about Jesse What's His Nuts? Like the main character from Mindhunter? Yes.
Is his name Jesse?
And that man is he's super gay. He plays King George in Hamilton. Jonathan Groff, yes, plays King George in Hamilton. He's very gay.
Why is there king in Hamilton? I thought it was about America.
King George III. It's about America gaining independence.
Oh, you guys do so much shit down here. Okay, so hold please though. Not him. I don't think he's daddy. He might be the opposite of daddy. He might be son. But AI viewers streamboo.com. No, thank you, sir.
Somebody else from Mindhunter?
The mean guy from Mindhunter, I think, has slight daddy vibes.
This is the main guy from Mindhunter.
No, the mean, angry, grumpy. The guy that looks a little bit like the emotional, angry guy from
Holt McCallany.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, he looks a little rough in some of these pictures, but Mindhunter? I don't know. He's not daddy.
I can see it.
Yeah, okay. But he doesn't go on the list.
No, I don't think so. I'm trying to who else? He reminds me of, what's his name from, why am I blanking so hard on the movie about about gangsters where he, like, at the very end ends up, like, why am I... Okay, gangsters? Yeah, Joe Pesci, what is he known for? What film?
Oh, like lots of things. The Goodfellas, probably? Is
Goodfellas, yeah, and what's the main actor in Goodfellas? Ray Liotta, there we go.
Ray Liotta. I think we actually already discussed Ray Liotta's candidacy for the daddy list, and he did not make it.
I was gonna say, Holt McCallany reminds me of Ray Liotta, and I don't know if I would consider Ray Liotta to go on here.
I mean, maybe back in their day they could have had some sort of like, yeah, but they're all of an era that doesn't give me
a little older, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can we really quickly go back and just list everybody who's on the daddy list right now? Because there's some ironic and, like, just hilariously funny ones.
There is. Do you have it up? I don't have it up.
Oh, I don't have it up, but I can pull it up.
I can pull it up, but also my computer struggles with doing multiple things, so I think your computer should do that.
That's super fair. Okay.
So it started with Popeye's Choke Me Daddy biscuits. So the biscuits.
The biscuits, yeah.
Are on the daddy
and
list.
You have had one. You had one for the first time recently, and do you agree?
Not for the first time.
Oh,
but recently, because they had them in Canada. They had Popeyes in Canada. It was a big deal when I was still living there in like 2017. Popeyes Choke Me Daddy biscuits, Halson, the Oscar Isaac. Definitely.
Yes, Oscar Isaac. I would agree that Oscar Isaac is even more on that list after I saw him in Beef.
Oh my god.
Did you watch?
Oh my god. I haven't seen it all, but he might be the daddiest daddy. Him and Pedro Pascal, I think, are very daddy. I think they're the quintessential archetype of what I would call daddy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, who else is on that list? Pedro Pascal, obviously. I mean, I just mentioned.
Why am I
The
struggling?
granddaddy, the daddy of daddies. I don't know if they're. Yeah, you know, Oscar Isaac and Pedro Pascal, I think, might be the patriarchs of the daddy dynasty for me, the modern day daddy dynasty.
Yeah.
Insofar as
Who else are you suggesting? While I figure out how
well,
I
I'm
can.
suggesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so the Disney Robin Hood, the fox. I want to get the animated ones out of the way so that you guys can stop.
This is God, there's a whole fucking oh yeah, hear me. This is such a hear me out take, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Well, so these aren't necessarily ones that I think. These are ones that I've seen recently that other people propose, and
mm-hmm.
also include ones that I think. And I will say, Robin Hood, Fox Robin Hood
Mm-hmm.
is hot as a fox. I had a crush on him when I was a young
Same.
girl,
Same.
anthropomorphized. Yeah. But I don't think it's daddy. I think it's like, again, it's a little bit of shoulder slinky bad boy, but not daddy.
Yeah, I
He would he
agree.
takes from the rich and gives to the poor. That is very providery. There is some daddy esqueness there, but I think he needs a bit of maturity. He be fucking around, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Maid Marian's up there knitting and shit with the chicken. You
I
know
would
what I'm
argue
talking
Maid
about.
Marian is mommy though.
You want to know whose mommy is that chicken?
Shut the
No, nah, the
Isn't
hen.
it like Helena Cluckington or some shit like that?
Not Helena Clark. Not Helena Clark.
I can't even.
No, I think it's Madame Cluck or something. There is Cluck in it, but Helena, we got creative on that one, I think.
Thank you.
Helena Cluck.
Daddy, okay, we have daddy candidates. Daddy and mommy list.
I think it's just Lady Cluck. Yeah.
Is it
Oh man,
really?
no shit. Remember, yeah, because she carries stuff in. Oh yeah, yeah. She's got slight chicken cleavage.
That's
Hysterical.
T. She does. I remember the chicken cleavage.
She
That's how you.
loses the badminton birdie when they're playing badminton
It falls
in
down.
her chicken cleavage, and she has to like shake it out of the bottom.
I forgot
That ain't
about.
mommy. Tell me.
Okay, sorry. I have the old daddy list. Okay, Popeye's biscuits, Pedro Pascal, Oscar Isaac, Canadaddy Trudeau.
Oh yeah.
I think
You know, I might.
I think we need to nix him. He started dating Katy Perry, and I was like,
That
I
ain't
think
daddy behavior.
I'm like sick to my
no.
stomach. Get him
He's
out of
outta
there.
here.
Get him out of here. He also his approval rating dropped. We're like, no, not anymore. Chris Pine's on there.
Yeah, and he got really daddy after that movie that everybody hated because he. Got
I agree.
all
Got the beard.
like that, you know?
John
He was chill.
John
Stamos.
Stamos. That's a good pick. I don't know who
Yeah.
picked that. That's a good one.
Well, we talked about Danny Tanner, I believe. It's Danny Tanner.
Talking about Bob Saget, Danny Tanner?
Well, I'm talking specifically about the character of Danny Tanner as played by Bob Saget.
I don't think I watched enough Full House to be able to.
He's a pretty caring dude. Tall drink of water. Funny. I don't think it's enough.
I don't
think it's enough. People do think this. These are people that the people think about. I don't think it makes the cut for our daddy list.
Howson's on there. It's written as Water Spider Daddy, but we went Daddy Longlegs, therefore.
Water Spider Daddy?
Yes.
What?
We were sitting on the dock at our supervisor's cottage. And we said, Daddy Longlegs, Daddy Longlegs, Water Spider Daddy. He ran across the water and we went, oh my god.
Yeah, that's daddy behavior. He was off to do something. It was probably a girl spider.
He was walking on water. That was a Jesus spider, bro.
True. Wanna know who's not daddy though? That guy.
He died for our sins, Alicia. Be serious.
He didn't die for my sins, girl. He said, nah, I'm cutting it off there.
And then also King Triton is on the list.
King Triton should stay on that list.
I completely agree, because that man has a six-pack and is like 800 years old.
Now, I want to dig a little deeper into that.
What?
Why is him being 800 years old?
What other 800-year-old do you know that has a six-pack, Alicia?
Okay, so it's the incredulity that you have for him having a
six-pack at 800 years old. Yes.
A six-pack at his age.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, he do be swimming.
He do be swimming? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, and I hope we find him, inshallah. Okay.
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah we find him. Some candidates, that's it. Candidates were Gordon Ramsay, Idris Elba, and Emmanuel Macron.
Okay. You know, I think my daddy candidacy is falling a little bit closer to
Bad boy.
less about just like hot older men, and I'm seeing the candidacy of some of these like Justin and Macron as just kind of like leader sexy.
I mean, Macron also, I just feel like in the past like 3 or 4 years, that sort of like establishment, like political leader has become like so stomach churning that
they're fucking drilling oil
both
and
out.
Shit with Daddy Nelson. No, he's off.
But Idris Elba and Gordon Ramsay are very good suggestions in my opinion. I don't know who
Idris Elba is on my current
amazing
list of candidates, so I think he should go on.
I
think
agree.
Just frankly he should go on. Like I don't know that that's arguable. Now, what was the other one?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay,
because he's gotten more daddy as time has gone on, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, and seeing him when he's being like kind of a nice, chill dude and not being like the character
idiot sandwich,
idiot sandwich and screaming and stuff, I think he's like kind of cool. Paul Hollywood.
Who?
Paul Hollywood from Great British Bake Off.
Ooh, that's actually a very good suggestion.
Now, don't quote me on this. I might say that we shouldn't put him on the daddy list. I'm not 100% sure, but there's something in my brain that says
he's problematic.
He dates women that are a little too young, but I'm not sure. I might be mixing him up with someone. So let's just do some research. Does Paul Hollywood date younger women? No, that looks like an age-appropriate person. Ooh, no.
Yeah.
29 years is weird. That's rough. Yeah, okay. 29 years? That's a whole human being. That's a whole person that owns property. Nah.
That's, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah, so he's not on that list. That's not.
I think there's also something we're not saying out loud, which is that they have to be unproblematic. For the most part. Yeah. So, like, I feel like we're, like, building the criteria as we go. But, like, I feel like, there has to be a level of, like, them not being problematic. Them being a warm, older man who's not too skinny.
Can any women be daddy? Do you think there's daddy women? Or is that just mommy?
What is gender, Alicia? I don't know.
What's gender? Yeah. You know, okay, hear me out. Like,
welcome. Sorry, so we have a first-time chatter and misadventures in Astro. Welcome in. Welcome in. Lurking.
In Astro. Yeah, thanks very much for the lurk. I have not been keeping my chat aware.
Isn't it slightly to fetishize attractive?
Condemn them for being older men? Are we condemning them for being older men?
I think we're condemning them for dating younger women, like excessively younger women.
Well, and I mean, the fact that we just like, you know, I think maybe what MTV's maybe getting at is earlier when I was saying like it was too old for me to see it, like a James Earl Jones kind of thing. Like he was probably daddy for like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
if I
like,
was
what does
watching something.
a young James Earl Jones look like? I have to see this, I think.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Mandy Patinkin. That guy's for sure daddy.
I think, Alicia, you are really leaning into granddaddy territory because we talked about Mandy Patinkin and
Did we?
he's old now, Queen. This is what
He
young
is.
James Earl Jones look like. Holy shit.
Is he slutty?
I'm
Is
sharing
he
my
slutty?
screen with you in our call if you want to see.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, jeez. Audible sploosh off camera. Like,
Oh, hold your horses. Not audible sploosh.
I'm sorry, what?
Layla is making comments.
I'm sorry, what? Anyways.
Okay, James Earl Jones, younger years. I mean, I don't want to be ageist or anything, but I don't want to be a younger woman to an older man. You know, in this theoretical land where we don't already have husbands. Yeah.
What?
This is a conceptual world.
It's a conceptual world. It's just the
No, but the
concept.
daddy
Yeah,
list world isn't like who do I actually want to pursue to date in this
yeah.
land. This is like talking about like the energy that is dad.
Yeah. I was gonna
us.
say the only I don't know if having a counterpart helps, but the only person we have on the female version of this, so the mommy list, is Gillian Anderson.
We also put Angelica Houston, I think.
I think we fought tooth and nail about Angelica Houston because you wanted her and I was like, I don't know, man.
Okay, what about just Morticia Adams then? We don't have to go Angelica Houston.
Is Lady Gluck on the is Lady Gluck Helena Cluckington?
Helena Cluckington on the fucking list.
That's fair.
And I will hear no back talk
the
about
chicken
this
cleavage really did it.
She's also like pretty badass, man. Like
Yeah.
she wants to clock someone over the head for trying to get at them children, you know?
Misadventures in Astro just got to meet Gillian Anderson. I'm shocked, dude. Wow.
Get the fuck out of town,
I'm jelly.
really?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I want to believe that I will meet Gillian Anderson. That was a
be pretty sick.
Reference.
Okay, so who else are your suggestions right now?
Okay. I'm gonna rattle through them.
I think Mufasa would qualify. Yeah, anyways, whatever.
You know, I see it. I see it. Gomez Adams. He stands his queen.
But we're talking like 90s films, Gomez Adams, right? Not current Wednesday, Netflix.
Raul Julia? I've never seen Wednesday, no. Okay. I'm thinking like Raul Julia, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Who's like a stand-up fucking dude, too. Okay, Uncle Phil.
From or is this another Full House reference?
No, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh. I do not. I honestly was the age gap that I missed this show.
You know, I didn't watch a ton of it because I didn't have cable, but I did.
Is he like quite exasperated all the time?
Yeah, he's a little cranky in the show, but he also like, you know, he holds a firm line, but then when Will Smith's character, his real dad comes, and then he's like, how come he don't want me, man? And then Uncle Phil gives him a big hug.
Yeah,
that happened.
That does happen. I actually have seen that one scene many times.
I mean, that's really the only scene in the entire show that matters.
That's super fair.
Yeah. So yeah, Uncle Phil. That was one of the ones that was on this Smosh video that I was just watching. So that's
did he make it very far in the Smosh video?
I did not finish it, but he did make it past his bracket.
Oh, okay.
So he's in like the next one in. Okay, this one I'm gonna stand pretty tall for. Stanley Tucci.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, Tooch is on there.
Tooch is
Went and
100%
saw
on
Devil
there.
Wears Prada.
Two?
The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It's not
Did
bad.
you? I did not realize this. I was trying to figure out why he was slurring, and I don't know if you clocked it in the show.
Dan did, and it's because he had throat cancer.
Yeah, exactly. I was worried he had had a stroke or something, but yeah, I guess he beat throat cancer from my understanding. So
I mean, I like that for him. Yeah, so Stanley Tucci on the list for sure. A lot of people really like the dad from the Inside Out, from the Emotions Disney thing. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
The gays go crazy for him.
It's because he has a mustache. The gays love a mustache.
I mean, yeah. At a con in Denver, very cool. That's sweet. Did you have to wait in like a crazy line to meet her? I bet you she was like star of the con. Charlie Swan, everybody likes that one too. Again, mustache. I don't see it.
You know who this looks exactly like? This is like, one second. This is this is a one
like
for
Phil
one.
Dunphy.
This is a 1-for-1 of can I join these two together?
Don't know.
Do you know this gay like comedian Mateo Lane? Are you familiar?
Oh yeah, he does look like
They look exactly alike in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's like
that's true.
straight up the gays influence right there. Okay, anyways.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally see it.
Sorry, you said Phil. Wait, you said another dad before Phil Dunphy.
Oh, I was just saying that might be the person you're saying he looks like, because
Phil
Dunphy kind of looks like that. That guy just looks like generic white guy. That's what that guy looks
Yeah,
like.
I think that was the goal.
Nondescript. I'm not upset about it, but anyways, some people think Mark Ruffalo doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, didn't he just do something?
Sweet Home Alabama and never forgot about it.
What?
He was in that movie Sweet Home Alabama. I tried to watch it and then I just could never see him as anything but that, and that movie sucked.
What is his role in Sweet Home Alabama? I only ever saw him in 13 going on 30 and then Avengers.
Yeah, Avengers. The Hulk. Is the Hulk a daddy?
It's the Hulk dad. Too angry.
Too angry.
Abusive.
Yeah, abusive. Don't like that. Okay. I don't think. Okay, Christopher Maloney, the guy from Law and Order, I think. The bald guy. People
yeah.
really like that guy.
Yeah. I just saw him in The Handmaid's Tale. Oh, that's Christopher Maloney?
Is that who I'm thinking of? Is that am I
Melanie.
Yeah. Meloni.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay. It's a terrible first picture.
Yeah, the
You took it. I could see it. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
High key,
okay. Did you know that Mariska Hargitay's mother is the literal Jane Mansfield?
I did know that. Yes.
I didn't know that until relatively recently. It was crazy. Crazy. Okay, I'm almost to the end of my daddy's suggestion list. So maybe we can talk about science for like a 1 second. Okay, Daniel Craig / not so much Daniel Craig himself, the character that he plays in the detective movies.
Yes, the like he has like a Creole accent. Why am I blanking so hard on
he's
like, that name?
Like Phil Lexington or something.
Benoit Blanc. Yes.
Oh yeah, Benoit Blanc, which is pretty funny that they called him Benoit Blanc, because
he's supposed to be from like Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's there's some suggestiveness about his gayness, and that they, you know what Benoit balls are?
Oh, is that what it is? This supposed to be a reference to
I
that?
don't think that that was an accident to call him Benoit Blanc and have it be like one letter switch away from saying Benoit Balls. I don't think that that's an accident. I don't
Interesting.
think anything in that level of a production is an accident, but no one has confirmed this. This is just me ideating, and maybe
Well,
I just have
I
a
believe
filthy
he's supposed to be kind of based on the character, like the what's the name of the detective from like the Murder on the Orient Express and stuff. It's supposed to be like those kind of stories.
Poirot.
Yes, like what's is Olivier Perot or something? What is it?
I can't remember what his first name is, but it's Poi Poirot. Hercule.
Hercule
Hercule.
Poirot, yeah.
Poirot. Yeah. Um, it's played by David Suchet. But
Benoit Blanc.
okay,
He is
yeah.
I mean,
Certainly, they're trying to make that like a thing, but they also
you think it
deliberately.
is. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
it could be. It could be. I'm hypothesizing. But
Yeah, he is they like very much insinuate that he's a gay man in the second film because he's literally like living with Hugh Grant, who's his partner.
in the third one, I think he's just straight up out.
Is there a third one already?
It's so good. So there's the one with Edward
Oh,
Norton, it's the second one, and then the third one is the one with
yes.
the
The
Irish priest.
yes, the priest one. I have seen it. You're absolutely right. And you're right cuz he's like it's like church-y and they're like, "No, I disagree with this." Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So yeah, there's that's close to the end of my list. We already talked about Idris Elba, the guy that plays Soldier Boy in the Boys.
Dean from Supernatural, Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Jensen Ackles.
Thank you, both of you. Dan has very strong feelings about Jensen Ackles.
What is
He
he?
likes.
He
Like,
loves him.
oh yeah, yeah. He's like that's Jensen Ackles. He's in
I
Supernatural. He
mean,
tells me that almost
he's a
every single
hottie.
episode.
So has he hello Birdbanes, welcome in.
Oh
Um
wow, things like
has have you guys watched all of The Boys?
no, we're not
Okay.
at all in the new season.
Okay, so in the most recent season, there is if Dan is a Supernatural fan, they have a Supernatural like Easter egg reunion essentially where Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins come back for they're in the because Eric Kripke is the producer on both shows.
Right. Well, and there's also Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays someone in season
Yes, that's
4.
true. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in previous seasons. You're
Who
so right.
also I
Could be on
wouldn't
the daddy list.
immediately discount being on the daddy list.
I actually totally agree with that.
Sorry, my headphone cord got stuck. Birdbanks, what we're doing today is basically vamping. Right now, we've been talking about the daddy list for approximately
A full hour.
an hour.
Yeah.
Which is fine because I felt like garbage for the past week. So I did zero research. We were going to talk about our research and our research backgrounds, and we haven't done that yet. See, I can't even speak.
But I mean, post daddy list, I think we're getting there. So we brought back this list of people in our previous years of being streamers. I don't know what the like where the concept even came from necessarily originally.
It was when Pedro Pascal was being called daddy, and that's why I have this emote in my thing.
You're like, what are? Oh yes.
And
I think
he said, I'm your hot slutty daddy on the red carpet," and everyone lost their shit. And this daddy became a whole big thing a couple of years ago when the first season of The Last of Us came out, and the rest is history.
And I think we were just like, what constitutes a daddy? And I think we just started making the list.
Well, yeah, and Baldur's Gate 3 came out, so we were talking like Paulson daddy, daddy. And then yeah, that's the.
I was gonna say these are very dated 2022, 2023 references, unfortunately.
I hate that that's dated. I hate that that's dated. 2026. What the fuck is going on?
Why does time move forward?
Okay, a lot of people really like Hopper from The Stranger place.
Absolutely not. That actor is too problematic.
Yeah, David Harbour. Yeah, that ruins it for me.
Did you listen to Amy Allen's album though?
Lily Collins?
Lily Allen, thank you.
Yeah. Did I listen to her album? No. Did I read about and read interviews with her and all of that fun stuff? Yes.
You honestly, the album was pretty sick. I would recommend it.
Okay. There's gonna be one more normal one and then one potentially hot.
There's one more hear me out.
One more one that when I saw someone suggest this, I was like, oh.
Why?
And then I had to think. Okay, Jeff Goldblum. Lots of people like that. Lots of people think that, you know, he's got kind of a...
I don't really get it, because first of all, he plays the same character in, like, you never see Jeff Goldblum do a character. It's always Jeff Goldblum doing Jeff Goldblum as a character.
He also, I think, has a pretty young wife.
Yes.
So, don't love that. So, okay, he's not on the list. Now, Brit, okay. Santa?
I think there's like inherently supposed to be a lightly sexual aspect of it, and I just no. I mean, okay, if we're gonna talk like this,
there's children involved, so he can't be sexy. But if you removed that from it,
have you seen the movie Klaus?
No.
Okay, so it's like this weird like folk tale take on how the Santa Claus came to be, and essentially, I'll show you. Because are you well?
I'm fine.
Are you well?
In the head, certainly not. Jeff Goldblum acts like Ryan Reynolds. They play a version of themselves. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's true.
1 second.
Bird Baines knows what's up. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. I wish people just would stop being problematic, you know? And, like, I know that, like, one mistake, you shouldn't necessarily write people off entirely for it and stuff like that, but, like, it's hard to come back from it if people don't, like, address it, you know? If it's just radio silence, I don't like that. Oh, now, Layla, are you making a case for Santa Daddy
This is the only Santa Daddy I will accept, in that this is, like, the origin story of how he came to be, and this Santa is like a very muscly like woodcutter.
So he's lumberjack Santa.
I mean, it's like King Triton as Santa, essentially.
I mean,
lumberjack Santa. Yeah, there we go.
I'm fine with that. You know what? I'll watch that this Christmas. I'll commit to that.
This is the only take on Santa.
Who's his voice actor? What's the voice actor on old Klaus here? So even Arnold tries his best to character act. That's T. Yeah, with his Austrian accent. Who's your daddy and what does he do? Oh, right, that's a line. He's like, who's your daddy and what does he do?
Do I even remember what these character names are?
Come with me if you want to live. I can't believe no one is impressed with the amount of Arnold Schwarzenegger
references you know. That's what
with having seen zero films.
I was gonna say I for some reason knew that Arnold Schwarzenegger was gonna come out. My Go Live notification is it's like, who are we? Who is your daddy? What science do we do?
I love that. So I'm not entirely sure what this daddy is supposed to be like. So he's supposed to be warm.
Why am I having a full stroke?
Nurturing.
Unproblematic.
Hot. Generally a little bit older. Are we talking about actors playing sciencey roles? No, we're just talking about characters, actors,
is it just
concepts. You know, what we consider daddy.
It's J.K. Simmons does the voice, which I actually think you probably could get behind, honestly.
I love J.K. Simmons. He might even be able to go on the day. He's a little, you know what? Watching Whiplash kind of made it so he can never possibly be daddy to me. because he's so mean. Also, that picture of him at the baseball game is anti-daddy. Oh, a sexy daddy type. Yes, yes, sexy daddy.
Oh,
Thank you so
yes.
much,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
science.
Yeah, I mean, I actually wasn't.
Has been around previously, so they know that it's chaos and science. Sometimes more one than the other.
Yeah, more vulgarity, less science some days, depending on the.
Depending on what, flavor you catch us at. Anyways, you were saying something, sorry.
I was just gonna say, honestly, him in Whiplash, which, for those who haven't seen it, is a film about a student who wants to be like a famous drummer or something, a successful drummer, and this is like his musical coach, and he's like super aggressive with him, and like essentially he's like, yeah, you can do better.
It's supposed to be like Juilliard. Like, it is the
Yeah.
best music school in all of whatever, and it's really hard to get into, and you basically have to make your whole life music, and he's one of the instructors of their, like, ensemble band, and is known for being an absolute hard ass, and blah. Are we going to talk about the science behind daddies? Not today, but I do think we've already discussed that we want to talk about, like, gay nomenclature, bears and stuff like that. What is daddy?
But I mean, I saw J.K. Simmons in like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man for the first time. Not attracted, not daddy. However, I don't know. In Whiplash, I thought he would be I found him to be way more daddy than.
Certainly, mean daddy.
Mean daddy.
Very mean daddy. Very mean. Don't like.
No, don't like.
He's real stressful. That's such a good movie, though, y'all. If you haven't seen Whiplash, fucking buckle in, because it's so fucking good. It's so good. Yeah. Okay. So that's the end of my list. Santa was my hot pitch. Klaus. Trying hard to think of one that qualifies. Not exactly something that crosses my mind. Straight guy here. All are welcome.
Yeah.
In our.
If you want to make suggestions to the mommy list, I will accept Angelica Houston. I will accept young Morticia Adams, Angelica Houston on that list. So we have Jillian Einstein.
Nope.
Jillian Anderson.
Einstein.
That's actually that's an actual researcher that I like have worked alongside before. Anyways, that's beside the point.
Oh, well, a good segue into let's hear about Laila's science.
Yeah, literally. Sorry, yeah, Jillian Anderson.
You make suggestions for the mommy list.
Angelica Houston and Lady Cluck from Robin Hood. So
we also talked about Glenn Close maybe being on there, but we hadn't decided. What about Harrison Ford? Listen, it's not an automatic no from me, especially after seeing that movie or the television show where he plays a mental health professional. I'm mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, he's starting to get into granddaddy territory, I'll be honest. He's getting up there. But
Shrinking. Have you seen Shrinking?
I've seen like posters for it. I haven't actually seen the show itself.
It's honestly pretty worth a watch. It's pretty funny. Jason Segel plays himself. But everybody else does pretty well. Yeah. So anyways, your science.
My science. Yeah. I could just briefly talk about what I've done historically, etc. So I think establishing sort of why we do this live stream, and why we how we got here is very important. And so I don't think we've ever really talked about what we do scientifically. We've talked about that we've both been in pain research. So I started getting involved in research when I was an undergraduate student. I'm primarily trained in psychology, so that was my degree. I was a super duper keener, so I got 3 minors: biology, chemistry, and Spanish, because I'm chaotic. Not that really means anything.
3. I knew the Spanish one.
Yeah, I could have just gone and did probably another degree and actually had something to show for it, because minors mean nothing at the end of the day. But anyways,
that's true.
And so that was because I started as a classic, every freshman starts as pre-medicine, and so I got a lot of bio and chem under my belt, and then I was like very interested in neuroscience, but the university that I was doing my um, degree at didn't have an established neuroscience program at the undergraduate level. They only had psychology, and you could kind of do this track of psychology which was like more like physiological psych and like behavioral and like, and I think after I left I started to add like a neuroscience track.
Mm-hmm.
And so then so a lot of people when you go into grad school and stuff will like matriculate into a position with a PI that they've like worked with at that university. But I went a different route and I just like blind emailed
Just cold called.
essentially like professors that I was like saw what they were doing, and I was looking for this like intersection of like biological psychology, and I ended up finding our former supervisor Jeff Mogul, who we've talked about briefly. um and I had zero idea that he was this like hot shot. Like when I was working under him, he said at one point, he was like, yeah, I'm in like the top 5,000 like most well-known scientists or something like that. And I'm like, that's actually kind of insane. There was like apparently an article that came out that like listed all of the like the most famous scientists. um I don't know if they were all alive or if, like historically, but anyways. And so um I like ended up visiting, interviewing, doing the whole thing, and then I moved to Montreal to do my degree. And um so I started doing a lot of like social psychology studies, and it was looking at sort of the lab was based around sort of these like mouse to human translation. And we've talked about how like rodent models are not great like do not have great translation to human models on this. Like we actually just talked about that like in like the last stream when we were talking about gut microbiome and like people recommending like dietary things, blah 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 blah. And so this lab was specifically focused around that. It was like having a finding in rodents and then directly translating that like methodologically as close as possible to humans and trying to recreate the same finding and seeing if it was translatable.
Right.
And so there was like a social psychology finding in mice that showed that um, female mice were more likely to have like pain empathy, excuse me, and were more likely to display higher pain behaviors while in the presence of another mouse with pain behaviors. So like their pain would be heightened, and we wanted to sort of recreate this in humans. And I like beat my head against that wall for like a year and a half trying to do that study, and then COVID hit. So and so then I actually had to do this huge pivot into mouse work. So I actually ended up working with mice doing techniques that we briefly talked about on this stream before. So like von Frey, which is a test of mechanical pain. So essentially you poke a mouse's paw with like increasingly stronger plastic fibers, and at whatever threshold they withdraw at, that is, we consider that to be their pain withdrawal threshold. As well as we have like heat versions of that, which we refer to as the Hargreaves test, etc. And so I started to do studies in mice doing that kind of stuff, and I genuinely hated it. I do not like mouse work. I don't think I could ever go back to mouse work permanently, which is like the total opposite of Alicia. She like loves rodent stuff. And while I was at a conference in my first year, so this was before COVID, like going backward, I had first actually previously I had been in class with Jeff, and I had TA'd for him for a really long, like not at that point, but I TA'd for him for my full 7 years that I did my PhD. And one of the things that we talk about in the class is this technique called microneurography. And I, in my opinion, thought it was the closest thing to a biomarker to pain that we had. And I became very, very interested in this. And so it's this methodology, and I'll pull up a little picture of it so it's easier to visualize.
If folks are watching only on mine, then you have to go over to one.
Yeah, I'll share it with you, and I don't know if you can actually display that sharing that I'm doing.
I can.
You're like, almost crashed the stream last time. So, um, essentially, it's this. One second, Alicia. Sorry. This method where we. This is like kind of like a terrible picture actually, but this is like a little micro electrode that we like insert into, we using essentially a sound system. You can listen for like changes in electrical signals, and it takes a decent amount of time to train on this technique, where you can then locate via sound or by, there's a new method like electrical impulses in the arm and like the twitch of somebody's arm or foot into a nerve. And there's a few different types of impulses you can measure. You can measure afferent pain signals, and then you can essentially like, if you're stimulating somebody in the periphery and you have a electrode here, you can actually see every touch that you make down here, and it comes up, and then you can like, there's essentially a readout on a screen. And there's also a sympathetic version of this where you can measure sympathetic efferent activity. So this is the most common one is activity, nervous activity that acts on the muscle tissue around blood vessels that leads to vasoconstriction and vasodilation. And so I became really interested in this methodology, and I went to a conference in my first year. One second. And met somebody at McGill who was in a lab doing microneurography. And it was the only microneurography, like it's not a very common technique. There's only a few labs like around, Canada, US, and like Europe that do this technique. And then different specialties as well. So if you're doing the cardiovascular version, you're doing the pain version, etc. And so I saw that they were doing this technique, and I was like, holy shit, I need to collaborate with this person because I think this would be so interesting.
Yeah.
And so they were a cardiovascular lab, but I essentially went to this, like it was a student I was talking to, but then I went to talk to the PI, and I was like, I want to like collaborate and like learn this technique. And so it wasn't until, so like we briefly connected in like 2019, 2020, pre-COVID, and then like shit hit the fan, and I did not actually start to collect data in that lab until 2021 and working with that person. But essentially became really interested in this overlap between pain and the cardiovascular system, specifically this like sympathetic, parasympathetic, autonomic influences of pain. And so I ended up finishing my degree with 2 publications, one of them being this sort of, and I guess I can pull it up. I'll be my own plug today.
Love it.
Yeah.
Talking about Brendan Fraser here in chat. Yeah, Brendan Fraser, I don't think he would have been daddy like back in his mummy days because he was too young and like just objectively hot, But maybe when he comes back for this mummy as his current, I mean, he's got daddy energy for sure. Like he's just a cool, nice person.
Yeah, I would say like young Brendan Fraser. Again, I don't. After The Whale.
He's daddy. He's just hot. Back in the day when he was George.
Yeah, it's fair. He was like Robin Hood hot, essentially.
Yeah.
So this was one of the publications that I looked at, and there's this method called the cold pressor test, which is used very often in pain research as well as sympathetic research. And so you stick your hand in ice water for X amount of minutes, or even like 30 seconds. And what you'll see is people will rate it as painful because it's like sticking your hands in, like playing with snow with your bare hands, like that hurts. But the reason it hurts is because it is like, it's referred to as like an ischemic response. So if you are familiar with the concept of like an ischemic tourniquet, you're reducing blood flow to that area, and it's very quick and it's very cold. So the blood vessels in your hand vasoconstrict to pull blood away from that area. And it's like, it's extremely painful, but it creates this, then the pain goes back up to the brain and creates a autonomic response where you see sympathetic activity go up and you have blood pressure increases as a result of this painful response, like this intense pain that you experience.
I didn't know that was the mechanism of the pain that comes from the cold pressor. That's wild.
Yeah, it's considered to be ischemic pain, and I don't think all cold pain is
I didn't even
ischemic.
know ischemic pain was a fucking thing. Truly didn't. I like. Also, Kirsty Sins. Does Pumbaa count as daddy? I mean,
that's a no, but
I don't think he does. But it wasn't an immediate no. I will say that he might be. Peter Dinklage. Is he daddy? I think Peter Dinklage not as Tyrion. Like, he's played characters since then that have more daddy energy.
That's fair. Yeah.
Get a Grip says, hell yeah, Pumbaa counts as daddy. Listen, no, he's too whimsical.
He's too gassy. He's the comedic relief.
He's too gassy. No gas coming from daddy. She will not tolerate.
It's just not it. It's not it.
Oh, the shame. Oh, Kirsty Sins, what have you done? You've opened a can of worms. But he's a big pig.
Oh my god.
Okay, listen. He is more. Listen. He's too reckless. There has to be some responsibility.
It's giving such This is like one of the hottest takes I've ever heard, honestly.
This is a big hear me out. I mean, make
this
the
is
case.
Super hear me out. I can't even.
Hakuna Matata. Listen,
no
wonderful phrase. Oh my god.
This is horrifying. First of all, no, just no.
Wait, are you about to share a screen?
Shit, yes. Absolutely not.
Lion live action Pumbaa? No,
0%.
No,
Lion King fans defend Pumbaa's live action looks. Oh
I mean,
God.
I'm fine with boars looking the way that boars do. I just don't think boar is daddy. Large and in charge. What about Hugh Jackman?
That's a pretty good one. That's a good suggestion. No, you don't think so?
He's never done it for me, but that doesn't mean that he can't be. Listen, I associate him too closely with Wolverine, and Wolverine is so not daddy.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
He's also like the Greatest Showman or whatever too, which is I don't know if it's daddy coded.
Yeah, he's like the Prestige. You know, he played a dad type in Real Steel. Listen, you just made me think of something though. Patrick Stewart?
I think we're leaning granddaddy again.
We're leaning granddaddy.
Because if you're doing Patrick Stewart, then you're like, are you gonna do Ian McKellen? Like you know what I mean?
Or is Gandalf daddy?
No.
What do you mean no? Flying fools. Listen, I watched those films. I'm familiar with the lore.
I mean, like, Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn is daddy, in my opinion.
Really? No, see, listen, okay, hold up. I don't know. I don't think Viggo's daddy. I think he's too stoic to be daddy. You need daddy to be, like, unapologetically warm and welcoming. Viggo's too... Viggo... Particularly in Lord of the Rings. Aragorn. That's his name, right? He's all like reluctant hero, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like I think daddy, to be daddy is to be confident enough to be like, I got you. You're safe. I'm here, you know? Yeah. Viggo wasn't up to that sort of shit.
Why the fuck do you think Eowyn... That's not even tea. Why do you think Eowyn was so into him, bro?
She's a fucking simp.
Yeah, and she has daddy issues.
That doesn't make him daddy, just because her daddy is not dad. I don't know. Have you not seen his other movies? Doesn't he play a Russian gangster in one of them? That's not daddy.
I don't know, I think the only other Viggo Mortensen film I saw was like Hidalgo, and it came out right after the.
Wasn't that about a horse?
Yeah, it was about a horse. You know, that's also part of the daddy thing too. Is like he was like in character on set, method actor, sleeping with his horse at set, not literal, like not like that, but sleeping next to his horse.
He was slumbering adjacent to the
Yes, exactly.
the
Yeah.
equine. Yeah.
Eastern
I don't know.
Promises and a History of Violence.
Both of those sound
we're being
like
scolded.
Scolded. Wait, did we just get a water bottle? We got sprayed with a water bottle by Christy Sims.
I'm fucking dead. Okay, I mean, Alicia.
That's not daddy! That's hot! That's not daddy!
That's literally your type!
Daddy! No! That's scary prison man! Layla! I mean, go to the naughty step! No! No! Do you know what my husband looks like? And it's still no!
I can't fucking spell.
He's holding a gun to that man! That's not daddy! That's who daddy protects you from! Oh, guys.
I think he's trying to protect this family, though. That's the vibe I'm getting.
With that haircut? No. I don't care if it was 2011. Look at that. Those are PC anime bangs. I don't care. I will not have it.
Oh my fucking god.
Layla, you guys have opened a can of worms. I'm fine. I have drank 32 ounces of water and still have a headache. I need a bio break. I'm going to go ahead
That's
and
super
give
fair.
you a cheeky, just, you can continue.
Oh yeah, I can talk about I can vamp for a bit. You go.
You go vamp. Okay.
Oh.
BRB.
Dead. I'm screaming. Okay, we're gonna go from very interesting daddy list to just going back to talking about my research briefly. Sorry, y'all. That's a hard transition. Essentially, I was really interested in the overlap between like autonomic factors in pain, and so another study that I was doing during that time was looking at the condition called fibromyalgia, and how. One second. Girl, yes, I'm not a robot. Jesus. Why are you always asking me that? I think they think I'm a robot. Was looking at essentially this phenomenon called conditioned pain modulation. So individuals who have chronic pain have this thing that's like, you have like ascending pain. So you have your nervous system, like your pain signal goes from you burn your hand and then it goes up your arm, up your spinal cord to your brain. But then when you also have all of these other factors referred to as descending inhibition. So your mood that day, how good your sleep was, etc., etc. Those are like cognitive factors that can influence your pain, like descending pain, either inhibition or propagation. And there's like this prevailing theory that people who have chronic pain have worse descending inhibition of pain, essentially. And so we measure pain, this descending inhibition, via this phenomenon called conditioned pain modulation. So we'll apply multiple heat stimuli to somebody. So what we did in our study was we did a heat stimulus, then a cold pressor test. So that's the ice water.
What a thrill. He missed all of the...
What? I know, the Who's Your Dad? We were like talking about like that he would have corrected us immediately, been like, "Daddy's from gay culture, you whores! Like, get it together."
We didn't say it wasn't. We said it was.
I know, but it took us a minute to get there. The male gaze.
Oh, the male gaze. That was like the first thing we said in the entire stream. It took a minute to get there, lady. I made it back from America, safe and sound. I saw you were in America. The male gaze. Okay, guys, what flavor of electrolytes should I have? Raspberry melon?
What type of... Oh, you do Liquid IV. Bro, I get so many effing ads from them.
White peach? lemon lime.
Do I need to do a poll?
For our 4 viewers.
I don't even know how to do a poll.
No grape ones left. Grape's my favorite. That's why there's no grape one.
So
there is green grape. What about that?
Ooh.
Green grape. How often do you get grape flavored chip that ain't purple grape? Nah. That's like a real case. You are also on the naughty step. All right, if anyone has strong feelings about what liquid IV I should have, frankly, the only reason I chose liquid IV is because it has a higher content of potassium relative to other electrolyte preparations.
Is that a good thing, Miss Neuroscientist?
Well, for me it is, because there's certain types of pharmaceuticals that you take that are potassium sparing or sodium sparing or sodium leaching or potassium leaching, which basically means that there's like something about the way that it's digested. I don't know enough about like chemistry and stuff like that to say exactly what it is, but it upsets the osmotic balance, and then what happens is, in order to metabolize the drug, it needs to pull potassium in some cases, or sodium, or whatever other electrolyte things, magnesium sometimes, from the cells around it. And if you get too deep into that territory, then you can then become deficient of that, which will manifest in various different ways. For me, I get heart palpitations if I don't drink, or if I don't have enough potassium in my life.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Oh, in chat. Yeah, guys, make up your minds, because I'm making room for the electrolytes right now.
Yeah, so Sean and I have gotten really, really into Arizona tea lately. And so we ordered, that's what I was drinking here, was this. They actually sell, it is literally like the best thing I've ever tasted, honestly. It's so good. It's the Arizona green tea, but it's cucumber lime. Yeah, and it's like, I'm like, this is like legitimately the most refreshing thing. But we're like trying a variety pack, and so we got this electrolyte. So they also
the best mod. Get you guys.
Stop. I'm screaming. I'm biased.
My own channel's telling me I need more channel points. Guys, I think I'm gonna go raspberry melon.
Yeah. But we got an Arizona tea branded watermelon electrolyte thing, and I had one sip and I was like, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. It was awful.
I'm not sure what we're focusing on at the moment. Frankly, nothing. We're focusing on a million different things. We were going to do a poll for my electrolytes, and then
this paper is trying to say they researched with the wrong sample group. Please don't cover my life. This is my paper. Essentially. Sorry. So what I was saying essentially is that like people with fibromyalgia, which is a type of chronic pain, is Get a Grip is very upset that he's not the best mod. He's very
Get a Grip, did you vote for yourself? We've committed to you for better or for worse. So that's your poll. Dan got none. Dan got the ultimate poll vote from me.
The loser is getting pushed off the plank. He has to walk the plank. Sorry, I've been getting distracted. I'm just gonna finish this little spiel. But essentially, we just looked at this phenomenon, this descending inhibition in healthy participants versus individuals with fibromyalgia. And we looked at sort of this experimental mechanism of if you do the protocol with sufficiently painful stimuli as opposed to insufficiently painful stimuli, are you going to see more consistent results? Mostly because the field is all over the place. Everybody uses a different methodology. Everybody uses is it matched to your threshold? Is it just like a standard stimulus that they're using? And is it like the temperature the same every time, or is it matched to the individual that you're testing? So we essentially published that we saw this phenomenon of using insufficiently painful stimuli while we're testing for people's pain inhibition is going to essentially cause you to have like results which are null, and that was only in healthy participants. And individuals with fibromyalgia essentially have just super dysregulated pain inhibition, which is what we expect to see. Hey. Is she okay? Oh my god. Hoon said she wanted to be on stream.
Yeah. Hoon, you're gonna get scooped.
And so what I'm doing now is at my like current institution is I'm doing pediatric pain. That's just like what ended up.
I was just gonna say, do you touch children?
So I
interact
with children? Do
microneurograph the
that is, I've been submitting an IRB application to do microneurography in children. I'm only allowed to do it in those who have chronic pain. They have not permitted me to do it in those who are healthy yet, due to the fact that you have to have this like pro-con benefit situation where individuals who are in chronic pain, we're actually going to be studying their chronic pain. And we're going to be doing this like conditioned pain modulation protocol. We're going to be testing their pain inhibition while we do microneurography, while we assess their sympathetic activity, while we assess their blood pressure, heart rate, etc., and see how they overlap. And I'm very excited to start that process. But yeah.
How young are the children?
We're going to be 13 at the youngest. So it's going to be adolescents, so 13 to 17. And then we'll also be having young adults, so it'll be 18 to 25 as well. So
that's like the worst age of child.
I mean, I definitely don't want to be dealing with the difficulties of like toddlers and stuff like that. Like 13 to 17 are like
when they're like small but can speak, you know?
Say that again?
When they're small but they can like talk to you, they're not like, what, whoa, you know? They're saying like real words, you know? They're like, today I learned about spiders in science.
But I mean, so
you're like, yo, tell me more about spiders.
Well, doing research with a pediatric group, I would prefer a group that is like, I can like speak words to them and they can speak back and we understand each other. Like once you're like a teenager, I can like talk to you kind of a little bit like an adult and you can kind of understand what I'm saying to you, as opposed to, I don't know, like an 8-year-old where I'm like, poke, hurt, no, yes, like.
Are they still that?
I mean, not every child.
I need to not say things about children.
I mean, not every child I'm going to be working with is going to be like a gifted, articulate child. So the older I can like recruit, the better, essentially.
That's fair. That's fair.
The worst age of child is 13 to 17 in a relationship. I can't.
Okay, but like that's arguably the worst age of. Yes. I mean, it's because it's
bird banes. Yes, essentially, there's a certain amount of like doing informed consent in humans, which when you're doing it with like people who are under the age of 18, you have to get their assent. Like they have to also consent as well as their parent and guardian, and like they have to understand things enough to like know what's going on. And yeah, I don't think anyone under the age of 13 is gonna get, you know what I mean? So
Mel Knoll does pediatric
peds, I know.
Research, and there was a study that she did about like vaccine administration and whether or not if the kid looks at it or doesn't look at it, and whether or not they get like coaching and stuff like that from their guardian or whatever.
Yeah, fear of needles is definitely an exclusion criteria for us, because I mean, we're also doing blood draws, so it's going to be like blood draws and the microneurography.
You have to do that?
The blood draw? I'll have a nurse helping me. No.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
8-year-olds can talk. But should they? I don't know.
Yeah, they can, but do their sentences make sense? That's the question.
I feel like an 8-year-old can like say stuff. I've built some Lego with some 8-year-olds.
They're like in what? 3rd grade? 3rd or 4th grade? I mean, yeah.
I built like one of those little, like a little tractor.
They're semi-articulate, but they're like not that smart yet.
Yeah, Dougie Licious like gets in fits of hysterics when he gets blood drawn, which is weird.
I mean, that is.
All sentences don't make sense, and you have doctorates. Sit down, get a grip. You're going on the naughty step again.
Yeah,
Can't
naughty
expect
naughty step.
speech from ages 10
Can't
and younger.
expect too much articulable speech from ages 10
Articulatable.
and younger.
Articulate, I think, is what we're going for there. Pain, stop.
Pains.
Pain is that. Can I ban a mod? Savages. Uh, this is a feral fucking stream.
It really
We're
is. It
feral.
really is. Okay,
We're feral.
Alicia, you get to give your backstory and what you do. Other than all we know is that you did pain and that we were in the same lab. So what else do we need to know?
Well, I mean, I've talked a lot about the addiction background
Yeah,
that I
that's
have
true.
as well. So, I mean, my first foray into any sort of research was in human research, which taught me that I didn't want to be in human research. I worked in the eating behaviors lab. I talked vaguely or a little bit about like the study that we were working on, which was looking at visual attention to fat or thin related words in individuals that have problematic eating or disordered eating tendencies and low body image and a whole bunch of like related scores on surveys and stuff like that versus healthy or normal participants, and whether or not they were primed by looking at neutral images and they were just as close to a gender neutral shoe as you could get. That was our priming images, or images of thin models. And basically the idea was that if you show them pictures of thin models before this, that it will bias your vision towards words that are weight related rather than a neutral word like cup or, tiger or something like that, which was an interesting study to be a part of. I learned how to do eye tracking and stuff like that. But the pilot work to find the pool of words to do that, because you couldn't have words that like secretly had a meaning to like the undergraduates that we were participating or using as participants. Like if there's something like, oh man, that's fat, like, there was like PHAT in like my younger
Yes,
years,
yeah, I remember that.
that like there you had to check and make sure that no one had any preconceived notions of what these things were. You also had to match all of the words on word length and syllable and like familiarity and stuff like that, so you didn't have inordinate attention towards a word because they're like, what the fuck is that word? Like if you put Daenerys Targaryen and then like blue, people are just going to look at the more, kind of crazy out there words. So we had to like match a whole bunch of different stuff. So that was one of the first things that I did science wise. And then I went into a brand new lab of a PI that was just starting at that institute and is no longer in science. And they were doing addiction research, and what we were looking at in a rat model is essentially trying to recapitulate and parse apart findings that have been shown in human correlational studies that show that the higher instances of adverse childhood experiences, so things like neglect, abuse, having parents be divorced or incarcerated, various other criteria. Basically, there's a whole bunch of them, but any adverse childhood event that's more than just like a fleeting, oh, I scraped my knee when I fell off my bike kind of thing. And those individuals that have the higher number of adverse childhood experiences that you have, the more likely you are to then go on as an adult to experience addiction or be diagnosed with a substance use disorder of any kind, regardless of the substance in question. And so what we wanted to do in that case was see if we could model this in a rodent, which you very easily can. We put predator odor in like a little vial so they can smell like fox urine, which is kind of just a looming kind of like threat. It would be the equivalent of having, potentially a parent that like when they're angry at something or they come home grumpy from work will yell at you or something like that, but you're not in any physical danger. We never physically harm them. We also do restraint stress, which, I mean, as an analog for an actual human thing, I don't know how far that really works. We socially isolated them for a week from their litter mates and then put them back after that week. We give them unlimited access to food, but for 12 hours a day. And then for the other 12, they don't have access to food for, again, a very short period of time. So this is meant to mimic like food scarcity that you might have if you were in a disadvantaged home and didn't know if you were going to have breakfast that morning or, that sort of thing. So we do these various types of adversity for a very short time in peri-adolescence. So in a rat, this would be, we were trying to approximate kind of the preteen years, like maybe 11 to 14 kind of thing. And unlimited access to food. Yeah. Anyway, so we, where was I? What was I talking about? I can't remember where I was in the trajectory of things.
You were talking about the different types of stressors you were using.
Yeah, stressors. Yeah, okay. I guess I did finish stressors. Okay, so we wanted to see if these stressors during that one kind of specific window, so it's a really short amount of time, whether or not that little epoch of just having like a rough patch. So your parents are going through divorce, there's food scarcity, you have to change school, so you're getting bullied, and there's kind of like ominousity around you. And like, it doesn't have to be like full blown outright terrible abuse from all, like, it really doesn't have to be that profound for it to have a downstream effect according to the human data. So we wanted to see kind of like, is this minimum threshold meetable by just this kind of really short window of adversity? And then they get to grow up to be full-blown adult rats, completely like a normal one would be in the laboratory setting after that 1 week of just hell, essentially. It's not quite hell, it's fine. But then they go on to be evaluated for behavioral traits that are meant to be a rat analog for personality or behavioral kind of characteristics that are associated with higher substance use disorders in human beings. So these are things like impulsivity. So the more likely you are to just be like, yeah, let's go do this thing and not think about the downstream consequences. If you were more apt to do that, you'd be more impulsive. And if you were less apt, you'd be less impulsive. Novelty preference or novelty seeking, that's kind of the adrenaline junkie archetype. Like, oh, I just want to try all new things. Like, I want to try everything once kind of thing. You're more likely to try drugs and thus more likely to become addicted. I feel like I could be described as a full-blown adult rat. In this stream, that is a plus. Let's just pop a couple rat emotes in there. Oh, I don't want that girl. Sorry, I just wanted to put some emotes. So we wanted to test them. So I said novelty preference, impulsivity, anxiety, particularly depending on which type of trait you have. Sometimes you'll go into different avenues of drug use. So if you are high trait anxiety, some of the human data suggests that you're more likely to develop an opiate or benzodiazepine use disorder, whereas those that are novelty seeking tend to develop things like stimulant disorders or stimulant use disorders.
Oh, that's so interesting. I did not know that.
Kind of makes intuitive sense, though,
Yeah,
right?
a little bit.
If you're impulsive and like, yeah, let's go, you're going to be more like, yeah, exactly. So we wanted to test them on those three. There's a fourth one that's a little bit more nebulous and kind of hard to explain, but there's something that I like to refer to as cue sensitivity. So that's basically how sensitive are you to seeing, say, like the McDonald's Golden Arches. If you see that and you have, the craving inside, how likely are you to pull into the McDonald's parking lot or be like, I got food at home kind of thing? And that's a measurable characteristic in humans. That's a measurable characteristic in rats. You can basically see how attracted they are to these cues or how reactive they are to these cues, how much salience or importance that particular individual pays to these cues. Yeah, let's go equals cocaine. Also, your Alicia 2026. True. Um, so we test them on those 4 traits, and then we give the rats a chance to self-administer drugs. In my case, I gave them a chance to self-administer cocaine, though we didn't do very much more of that data because rats on cocaine are rough to handle. They're what you would imagine.
They're like, are they very bitey, presumably?
I once had a male rat that was like fucking 800 grams or something stupid like that grab onto like the meat of my hand and just hang there, like would not let go. Yeah, and I was like, cool, this is great, everything's fine. And I was pretty good at handling
Yeah.
it, but all I heard is unlimited food and cocaine, so I volunteer as rat. I mean, they have they do die at the end because we need their brains in that case. But so we give them the chance to self-administer drugs. I also did a drug called remifentanil, which was where most of my data came from, which is, as the name suggests, just a kind of analog of fentanyl. In this case, you would remifentanil we used because it acts a lot shorter. So instead of taking one dose and being high for several hours, they would take one dose and they'd be high for several minutes. So you can get kind of a protracted version of their dose patterning without having to do it across, 10 hours. You could do it across like 2, 4, or 6 in my case, and see kind of how their patterns would work over and over again there. And what we found was that early life adversity, of course, increases the number of addiction-related traits that an individual will express. It doesn't necessarily increase one or another one more. It's just the actual proportion. So whatever combination of those 4 traits, you would be more likely to express 2 or 2, 3, or all 4 of them than you would be to express 0, 1, or 2 of them in a population proportion kind of level. And the likelihood that you are going to escalate your drug use intake, so that's basically taking like a ramping up amount, is going to also match onto those addiction relevant traits. So if you express more of those traits, you are more likely to be one of these rats that escalates their use, which is one of the diagnostic hallmarks of a substance use disorder according to the DSM, is escalating use, where you take more than you intended to or take more than you wanted to, kind of thing in that. Yeah. So that was my master's research. Still unpublished.
Wait.
Almost a decade later.
You've gotten one. Haven't you gotten one publication out of that?
That's not my research. Well, it is. It is. That wasn't my...
That wasn't your specific thesis work.
So because the last author on that paper, Tristan, and I worked so closely together on that, and he was kind of like leading the thing, but I was doing the labor and did most of the manuscript editing and stuff like that. That's why I'm first author on that paper, but that was not my main project.
Got it. It's not still embargoed, is it? Or is it?
No. The thesis is out there. It's not embargoed anymore, but it won't be able to be published essentially unless someone's willing to put their endorsement on it, because I can't publish it alone. And last time when we published the other paper, they essentially flipped out and sent letters to a bunch of people and tried to ruin careers and shit like that.
But I mean, it didn't work, so you could technically do this.
It didn't work because anybody that knows this person, this is the leader, the principal investigator of this lab, who is now married to his former PhD student, who is 20-something years his junior. So, and they also denied that they were in a relationship the entire time that he was on this sinking ship, when people were like, you can't do that. You can do this, but you have to disclose it. You can't just be secretly doing this. And he got fired for that and a whole bunch of related stuff. And
and so as a result of ongoing ethical violations. While Alicia happened to be in the lab, unfortunately, her work also kind of suffered the consequences of
Yeah, and
that.
it's gorgeous work. Like I'm so proud of that work, and I like worked so fucking hard. Like everybody that I spoke to, like at a PI level, was like, "This is a PhD worth of work." And all I was earning for it was a master's. All I was earning for it. I earned a master's for it, but did a PhD amount of work,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not even going to be published like ever. And I'm just like, I'm still not quite over it.
I think you could eventually. I think if you were to do an
At
experiment,
some point, it's going to be really dated.
I mean,
People
maybe.
are already doing some of this research. Some of this has been scooped.
It's fair. I mean, if you
Not
were to
quite as
do,
comprehensive as I did it, but
yeah, I was gonna
I also
say,
wouldn't be able to do follow-up experiments. If a reviewer said do a follow-up experiment, I'd be like, can't.
yeah. I mean, if you got yourself into a place where you were able to do something similar, you could then add it as like supplementary unpublished data. I understand that the main finding is probably in that, but
Yeah, the other thing is no one wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole in terms of lead author kind of thing.
yeah, I mean,
Right. So it'll be what it'll be. In any event, that was my master's, and then I went to McGill, and I joined Jeff's lab, same lab that Layla was in. There was a little interlude in a different lab that was not great, but I started doing a kind of addiction and pain related research there, but we had such limited equipment that the throughput was too low. And because I was the only person that knew a couple of these other more kind of newer techniques in terms of like manipulation, brain manipulation, and stuff like that,
yeah.
uh,
Like what we've
my
referred to as like optogenetics or like viral
yeah,
ablation and stuff like that.
chemogenetics is
Yeah.
what we ended up going
Yeah.
with in the end. And what chemogenetics are is essentially you can artificially put in a receptor that is only activated by something that the body doesn't make that you can give exogenously. So like, they would never, this receptor would never otherwise be activated. You can induce that by
Mhm.
injecting a viral vector. So you basically take a virus. In this case, this is a canine adenovirus. Maybe not canine. Wouldn't be canine. Would be rodent. Anyways, it's an adenovirus, which is like the kennel cough virus that is very common in like dog kennels, as the name suggests. But you take out all of the things that make it kennel cough and you stuff in the stuff that will program these cells to make these receptors. They go in, they make these receptors, and then those receptors just sit there and chill until you give them a specific ligand or activator of that receptor that comes from the experimenter. So you would inject them or give it to them in their water or whatever, and then that will activate that receptor. And sometimes you can make these inhibitory receptors. So essentially, we can put them in a certain part of the brain and we can turn
Turn it
that part
off.
of the brain
Yeah.
off. Or you can do excitatory ones, which will increase the activity in that area. Basically, it makes it so that you can kind of like turn a volume dial on that in a certain window of time. Optogenetics is the same thing, but with light. So you get a much tighter timeline. So you can basically turn it on and off like a light
Like a
switch.
light switch.
We didn't do that. So in this case, I pivoted away from doing some of the self administration stuff and towards looking at the kind of underlying neuroanatomy that distinguishes the kind of effective parts of pain. So the parts of pain that make pain unpleasant, which is the only thing that makes pain different from another sensation, is the fact that it's aversive or unpleasant. Otherwise, it would be no different than seeing, hearing, or otherwise touch. What makes it different is its unpleasantness. But of course, it also has a sensory component, and those two things, research had previously shown, were governed by different areas of the brain. And as Layla was talking about earlier, there's ways to measure the sensory aspect of pain, the poking, the temperature manipulation,
Mm-hmm.
and you can test how fast a rat pulls its hand away. But you can't ask a rat how much that bothered them. Like for me personally, if I burn my hand, I'm way more bummed than if I was outside in the cold shoveling and my hands got so cold that they were in pain, kind of thing. Like much, much more upset. Or, you know, if I stub my toe versus scrape my
Having,
knee.
yeah, like a stomach, and I like one of the big distinctions is like visceral pain often has more of an affective component. So you have a stomach ache or something that usually is considered to be more unpleasant or more awful than like
Right.
something that's more peripheral. Yeah.
Right. So, but the point is, these are very
Yeah.
subjective things, and canonically can't really be measured directly in a rodent, except the fact that anyone with a pet knows you can tell if your pet is not doing okay. You can
Hmm.
tell if your pet is scared because they change their behavior, and a lot of the behaviors that they do facially are analogous to the way that other higher order mammals, including human beings, grimace is the term that we use, or change their facial kind of
Hmm.
expression to reflect their, you know, internal state. We use that in our ways of emoting of all varieties, but we also express pain that way. And what we wanted to do is see if we use these chemogenetic inactivation techniques that we mentioned before to different areas of the brain, whether or not they would change the sensory response versus the affective response as measured by their facial expression, differentially depending on which area we turned off or left alone, kind of thing. And what we found was that they are dissociable, governed by different areas of the brain, and thus are truly separate kind of components of the pain experience and can be, you know, completely independent of one another and independently measured. And why that's important is if you could, in theory, find a way to only affect the part of your brain that makes the pain feel unpleasant and not take away the pain itself sensorially, you could be like, I feel the pain, but I don't care about it. That would be pretty beneficial, right? Old Man Felonious made it back before you wrapped
Yeah.
up.
Thanks for
I
coming
would,
back.
yeah, welcome back. I will try to wrap up pretty quickly. The other thing that we did to kind of recapitulate this in a different way is we wanted to examine the degree to which pain is like or unlike other emotions. Because when we say it's expressed on the face like other emotions, you know, we're just saying that,
Hmm.
right? And it is true. There are other ways to kind of underline that. But one of the things about facially expressed emotions across all species that they've measured this in is that you express your facial expressions more strongly, usually on the left side of your face, because it's governed by the right side of your brain, and that there's something called lateralization. So, whether or not you can actually see that with your eyes, like you don't smile more on one side for the most part, some people do. But this has been examined for all the other emotions, but has never been looked at for pain. So, we wanted to say, hey, okay, does this happen with pain? Turns out it is lateralized, but it's to the opposite side, which is really interesting because I'm not really sure why.
We
I
don't
have
know.
hypotheses as to why that might be. But the kind of big takeaway for us was okay, pain is both like and
Hmm.
unlike other emotions. So it's like other emotions in that it's expressed facially, but it's unique amongst an emotional or an affective experience in the way that it's expressed. And that's probably related to how it's processed and might be related to how we can then treat
Yeah.
pain in ways that are more sophisticated, advanced, and less problematic or side effect laden than
Mhm.
currently exist.
Was and can you clarify really quick? I can't remember. Was the rodent data for the lateralization different from other rodent data? Like it was the opposite side for other rodent emotions as well?
No one's looked at it.
Okay. Because I
No.
remember the one thing, so I actually worked on like the human translation. I kind of mentioned I did like human translation work for mouse studies in Jeff's lab. I worked on the human translation component of this study,
Mhm.
and it was rodents and humans were on opposite sides, right?
Right. So I think that's where a lot of this has kind of become a little bit more of a quagmire than
Yeah.
we kind of want it to be with me no longer working in that lab and being able to follow any of this up, because I think all of the other emotions that they've shown laterality for in other species, I mean, it's hard to call the emotions like happiness and stuff like that in rats. You can like kind of show fear, and you can show like disgust if you give them like hypertonic water, so like really 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 aversively salty water, or bitter flavors and stuff like that. And those show lateralization again to the opposite side. So they're still unique from pain in that, but pain face in humans, we didn't find, I don't think, anything other than the fact that it was just to the opposite side, and there wasn't enough data for us to say if that was like a real effect or not. And it was taking forever for us to like get those data because we were collaborating with another lab, so that kind of branch of it sort of died off. But yeah, gang's all here. Gang's all here.
Right as we're getting ready to wrap up.
Yeah. We were doing the what's the connections puzzle, you know, like the New York Times connections.
Yeah.
We were doing one recently, and it had carrot, CAR
E.T.
And I was like, yeah, carrot goes down.
Carrot goes down. Carrot goes down.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my research. That's Laila's research. That's us. That's our background.
And we are, and we both finally updated our Twitch profiles, so we are actual PhDs now, not just PhD students. Never again.
Never again. Honestly, I'd go do a different doctorate. I'd go do a fun one. I'd go do like...
Define fun.
I'd go do one where I can just like read books and shit.
Like sociology or something?
Film? Oh my god, I'd love to do like film analysis. Just watch things. Dude. Judge. I do that anyway. I do that for fun. Honestly, if I came back in a different life, I'd want to be like a movie critic or something. I think I'd be really good at that.
I know. You do love that. Don't you have like a whole ass list of like movies that you have like done like feminist critiques on?
No, I have a list of movies that I consider to be the best movies. I think I have a top 100, and I think it's at 120 of my favorite films. That's like somewhat ranked. I've tried to rank it. We need a clips compilation for this channel. There are some good clips on both your channel and this one. It's
a rosary of rubber chickens. Thoughts on rating, mademoiselle?
I have so little bandwidth that if you wanted to do that, I would say yes, but I would be disinclined to do the hobnobbing of it all.
The hobnob, then old...
Mainly because I've been fighting a headache for like...
Yeah, I know, you've been drinking a lot of water, but girl, you gotta take some ibuprofen. Like, that's where it's at.
I took some before we started.
Oh my god. Oh, okay, so it's like an oncoming migraine, and there's no stopping her.
Tokyo Gore Police? I don't know what that is. Astro and Science are on.
Ooh. Who did we rated somebody out? Who did we rate out last time?
We rated Science last time. Oh no, wait. Did we do Astro last time?
I think it was Astro. Because it was, yeah, because him and Moo Hoodles were both doing, or not Moo Hoodles, somebody else were doing, it was like a space launch, something or other.
Oh, right. Oh, and Nerduino. Nerduino was on last time. We didn't do Nerduino. Yeah, we could do Science. He's pretty understanding about moving on from stuff and doing post stream. Okay, let's do that. We love them over there. High key love. All right, peeps, stick around for the raid if you don't mind. We're gonna go see one of our fave Science. Great community over there. They do lots of like cool charity. They're Twitch ambassadors now. Like,
wow, very impressive.
Yeah, and they're a whole little science fucking family. So like,
I know, it's so cute.
It's the high class best. Yeah, I get his clips or their clips, I should say, on YouTube, and I always like them, even if I don't watch them because I'm just like, Bruce
Yeah,
good.
legit.
Um,
Just to let you know, Alicia, I don't know if you're in the pop out, but you have to go to your actual, because I'm hosting this time. You have to go to your actual channel to raid out. That was what I've been having to do. That's why I've been failing to raid in multiple previous.
What do you mean? In my actual channel, like in my stream manager dashboard thing?
Yes, as opposed to the pop out next to our call.
Okay. Do you have to put at?
No. / raid and then just the name.
Okay. All right, folks. This has been a very chaotic.
It has been.
Fun, daddy-filled episode. Stream, whatever we're calling it.
We are getting ready. We're going to be confirming with one of our colleagues, but we might have one episode where we finally have a guest on, which might be fun. But following that, or starting next week, we'll be starting a series on like trauma and healing from trauma, and we're really excited about it. So we'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
Yeah. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Laila Shode. And this has been Vulgar Science.
Vulgar Science, the vulgarest science today. All right. See you folks. Stick around for the raid. Raid now.
Is it working? Yeah.
And strum. Go to channel. I have to go to channel.